What's up, guys and gals? I'm going to turn on this other light real quick. It might help a little bit. That might be better. Mims, our weather is sketchy. Yep, you need to get out of here. That's good. Georgiana Malone, how are you? Emily Goss, how are you? Mark from Rolling Homestead and Wild Edibles in Wisconsin, what's going on? Christine Harrison, what's going down? Hey, guys. Appreciate you being on here. ELYN actually chose subject matter tonight. Ooh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to go through here and grab scripture, so we might just do the thumb method tonight. That's what we might do. Huh. Hey, Cecilia Jansen, how are you? Oh, got the good Marine Corps hat on tonight. Ivan, what's going on? At the parents' house, that's awesome. Oh, good to see you too, Mark. Getting started on Homestead. What's going down? Miss ELYN, I always forget to say hello to you as well. Hello to you as well. It just pops in my head, Ivan, whenever I see that title. I'm sorry. But I think Ivan and ELYN are coming up in September. If I'm not mistaken, we'll be here, which is awesome. It's good to go. We'll let everybody get on. Guys, don't forget, we had the guys on last Sunday from Red Platoon. If you guys can, go check out the book and get you one. I'm about a chapter and a half through it. Not gotten to read as much as I want to on it, but that's cool. The Appreciate Tiny House, what's going on? Remember also, if you'd like to support those guys in the reunion, they're doing a yearly reunion with all the guys. They've taken great pride in not losing anybody to suicide from Red Platoon, and that is amazing. After going through such an ordeal that those guys did last, the guys that we had on Sunday went through. So if you'd like to donate anything to them, I ask that you not do it through Super Chat, but if you'd like to send it through my PayPal, it will go straight to them. And that's the same as my email address on PayPal. Anything that you guys can do would be greatly appreciated. I think we're up to $65 or $75 for those guys that I will get to get over to Kyle and to Chris. So that they can use that toward getting people into town. They're doing it in Colorado this year, getting people to town, paying for food, paying for lodging, paying for drinks, whatever those guys need. I'm just going to give them the money and they can use it toward that. Chris is kind of the one that's forefronting all that. So it's actually pretty good that I can get that directly to him. Christina Harrison, you'll be ordering. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's a great book. Watch the movie Outpost. It's a really, really good movie. They just said it wasn't as quite accurate as the book is. So the book is dead on from what the conversation is I had. Don't forget the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up, guys, as you come in. But yeah, if you guys want to support the Red Platoon from Battle of Cop Keating, please do that. I ask you from the bottom of my heart to do that. So, yep, there's the Outpost listed up there for you guys. So we're just chit-chatting right now, waiting for everybody to come on. Then we'll get into some scripture and stuff. We're going to thumb scripture tonight. We're going to go. I forgot last week to choose, so I'm going to just thumb it, grab chapter, and that's what we're going to read, guys. So the Lord's going to lead us tonight, and we'll see where we get to. Going Green Mom, what's going on? Good to see you on here. Mama Z's Texas Kitchen, how are you? She Bear Acres, how are you? So we have the title to the truck. So for y'all that don't know, we had a lovely subscriber and a friend, Karen LaSalle, how are you? Sorry if I butchered your name. That donated us a truck. you know, and I'll give you guys an example of why. My little truck is getting there, and for some reason, everything in the world is going crazy on it. We're riding over the mountain today, coming back from just a stroll through the woods, and put a piece of metal about that long through the rear tire, and had a limp home to get everything done. So absolutely crazy. But the truck's here. Now we all have to do is come up with the money. We have to go to Florida to pick, or the titles here. We have to go get everything registered. Registration and titles and tags and all that good stuff is going to be about $400. And then we have to rent a rental car. And Kyle from Red Platoon, if I'm not mistaken, you'll see him on here as Regal T-Type. If he comes on tonight, I said that he was possibly good to go with going with me. So we are going to ride down and pick that up. So still gonna take us a little bit to get down there and get everything done, but hopefully within the next 2 weeks we can come up with the funds to do that and get that moved on. So we're gonna go down and get that squared away and see what's going on. We got some other big news. I am going to share something with you guys tonight, and it's going to kind of mess up what I've been planning to do, but you guys will definitely understand. When we hit 30 people on here, I'll tell you about that. And you'll be happily surprised. So one thing I want to tell you guys, everybody that ordered seeds that has not received seeds yet, I sent out 75 boxes of seeds already. Each one of them have around 15 to 21 packs of seeds, depending on what kind of seeds. Whoa, here's a start to get the funds going. Brother, you did not have to do that, Mark, but I appreciate that very much so, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That will go good. That'll get us about a half a tank of gas to get down there. So that's a quarter of the battle on gas to get down there. So appreciated. I really, really appreciate it. I know times are hard for everybody. That wasn't the reason I was saying that. I was just giving you guys the heads up on what's going on with the truck. Now let's start over now that Mark done disrailed and pushed me off tracks, but I appreciate it, brother. I really do. God is good. So what, now I'm dumbfounded. Somebody give me a reminder on what I was just saying. Brain fart 101. Sorry. Hey, back to Rootstead. How are you? Everyone, Emma here. Hey, Emma, how are you? Yes, God is good. Early birthday present. Love it. Thank you, Mama Z. I lost his mind. I did lose my mind. Somebody please tell me where I was at. You were sharing something when 30 people come on, I'm going to tell you guys about something that's going on and you'll understand why. Oh, seeds. All right, I'm back. Good to go. So I've sent out about 75 packs of seeds. I have 30 more packs of seeds that have been paid on shipping to send out. Those I held off on. I'm not going to send those out until Friday. And here is why, guys. And the last seeds, this does not affect you, and you'll understand why in a minute. So my mother's pasture at Mims, I'm going to get you, girl. I'm going to get you. Number one fan, and that is probably the truth. So she did that just to get me tangled back up. So with those seeds, we're not going to send those out until Friday. My mother was directly exposed to someone that had coronavirus last week. And ELYN actually stayed with my mother last Wednesday. We actually sent out all the seeds that we sent out were sent out Monday and Tuesday. So there was no exposure to those seeds, but ELYN was exposed through my mother to the coronavirus. But my mother's testing came back today. She is negative. There is no issues with anything. We are good to go. But they said just for precautionary stuff, wait until Friday and kind of just self-isolate whatever we could that way. So we are still doing that because ELYN was around her. So we will not send those out until Friday, and that'll give us plenty of time to make sure everything is safe. If for some reason one of us gets sick or something by Friday, which I don't think is going to happen at all, nobody's showing anything, we will take and we'll get those shipped out as soon as possible. But we are going to hold off till Friday to send those. So yeah, just if you're one of those people, I think Susie Clark, I think you already got your she is there. Yeah, she is negative. There is no issues with that. And it's her pastor and his wife. I'll tell you guys a quick story on the whole situation. You guys take from it what you want. So my mother's church decided that we were going to build a hall, a new receiving hall and stuff at the church, and decided instead of using that money to do that with all the negativity that's going toward the police departments and stuff, and they have a really good police department in Jonesboro, Tennessee. You can get on national news, the whole 9 yards has had this out there. But that is my mother's church. It's a small church. They took and donated $1,000 to, I think it was like 30 or 40 at police force strong. Everybody on the police force from the bottom up received $1,000 check. Just to say thank you and that we support you as law enforcement, and our community loves you. So they did that. And with that, it grabbed the attention of the president. President Trump actually called and talked to her pastor and his wife, and then flew them to DC to do a roundtable. And Ranch Refuge, how are you? And JC Oregon Homestead, how are you? Crystal, how are you? And took a Grammy Karen, Rolling Homestead, another what? Stop! You're trying to make me get crazy. You're sitting there rolling, but then they came back and they both contracted coronavirus. So a blessing and a curse at the same time, I guess. So I won't say it's directly because they went to DC, but I'm saying it's directly because they went to DC. Amy Wall, how are you? The Appreciate Tiny House. So they came back and they're sick, and now there's multiple people that got sick. But my mother is, like I said, 7 to 8 days out from exposure and is negative, and they pushed through the test, and I think she actually ended up having 2 tests, and both of them came back negative. So, okay, you all, Mark and I are setting the challenge. Let's super chat up $200 for singles ad tonight for travel expenses. Mims, y'all are crazy. I thank you. You guys don't have to do that, but thank you. I know times are hard right now, guys, so don't listen to the instigators. I understand that. If you decide that you want to do something, that's amazing, and I appreciate it. But I appreciate everything you guys do anyway. Duncan 1900, how are you tonight? I'm trying to get everybody. Hey, Crystal, how are you? Felicia Crafty Adventures, how are you? Trying to catch everybody coming on. We are going to talk about safety tonight. And the reason that we're going to talk about personal safety tonight is because Miss ELYN Max herself said, Daddy, you need to talk to everybody about how to be safe with their guns. That's what I want you to talk to them about. And I want you to talk to them about me. And I was like, talk to them about you. She said, yes, tell them that I said I love them and that I miss everybody that I've met. So Mark, thank you, buddy. So, hey, Mims, stop. So anyway, she misses you guys as much as I do, and we hope to see everybody soon. We hope to do there. Hey, have you guys heard the amazing news that the Stibers and Grammy Karen, I think, is on here? The whole stinking family is thinking, or they're moving to Tennessee. And I talked to Zach today via text and stuff, and we got to chit-chatting back and forth. And they're a couple of the places they are looking are within 45 minutes of our house. So I've made the invitation to Zach and Jen and Grammy Karen as well. Whoever wants to come up and stay for a week or so, and just kind of is just wanted them to come up and chill out and check out the area. We've had quite a bit of property in this area. We don't usually have property or homes come up, and when homes come up and are available here, the whole family, come on, Grammy. We have had a lot of property come available because everybody's hard up for money and stuff. So there's been some very nice property come up for sale here lately. And I'm actually talking, can't say who, but I'm actually talking with another very large channel to come up and join us here too. They're talking about moving to the area too. I would love to live in Tennessee. Come on, Christine Harrison, you can come on. We are excited and overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed, Grammy Karen. Take it easy. You guys have got this. You guys have got this. We got 40 in the house and 27. Let's go. Yeah, give them thumbs up, guys. We got 43 people in and only 28 thumbs up. Remember, that's how the analytics go on YouTube, is when you're commenting, thumbs up, and subscribing and stuff. Also, I wanted to mention this last week and forgot, and Mark just triggered this back for me. Remember, if you're not subscribed, it kind of messes with us. We have 28% of people that are watching us on a regular basis that aren't subscribed. So that's really good actually in the YouTube world, but I'd like to go and get into that 80%. I'd like to have everybody subscribe if you can. That would be amazing. Homestead, engraving business, and life. How are you? It went by quick. We appreciate it, guys. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate all that and the support on getting down and getting the truck. That's going to be awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, for the new people on here, I showed a picture 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's a nice truck. It's a 2004, so it's not old, but it's an older model truck. If I can find the pictures, I'll share them with you. There it is. So it needs a good cleaning, but let's see. Probably have to dim that down somewhat. But there is the truck. I don't know how good that's going to show up. I don't know how good that's going to. There we go. So if you guys know, especially those that have met me, I drive a 1993 Toyota truck, 2-wheel drive. That's a 2-wheel drive truck as well. And it's it needs a lot of stuff. We're going to keep the little truck because they're great trucks. They'll go for 1,000,000 miles. But mine is at that point where it has to be done. So the only thing holding us back from going and getting that is coming up with the funds to drive to Florida. It's 9 hours away and get it. I will send you 100 cash to receive a package of seeds that will pay for postage, and you can keep the. You are not going to do that, Karen Lascelle. Send me an email and we will get you some seeds anyway. Guys, I've got a lot of seeds. I've got 500 and something requests for seeds, and I am about 103 or 4 into that, but I'm only about 1/3 of the way through. So I think I'm going to be able to fill. I think I'm going to start putting 12 to 15 packs in instead of the 15 to 21 packs in, just so I can send out more. But it's still worth it's $8, $7.99, $8 for the shipping. So Karen, you're crazy. So we're doing that and sending those out. And Rich, you have a black 05 Dodge Ram, 4-door, 4x4, barely drive it, but love it. We needed a full-size truck. So, okay, y'all, Mark and I are setting the challenge. Oh, you're putting in that from him. We appreciate it, guys. We really, really, really appreciate it. So we're doing that. There's the Max in the house. What's going on? We're going to go in that. We are going to thumb through, and like I said, we're going to let the good Lord choose scripture tonight. So we're going to go off this, and I don't know what we're going to come up with, but watch this. You see it? You see it? Bam! Here's where we're at, and the first chapter I see is going to be Luke chapter 6. And we're going to actually read 6. We're going to read, let's see, chapter 6, 1 through, what is that? 11. I'm going to read 1 through 11 because that's the section that's there. So I'm going to look away from the chat for a few minutes, and I'm going to read this. And for all of you all that are new, And everybody else that's here already knows this. But for the ones of you who are new, I have severe dyslexia. Reading for me is one of the biggest challenges for me. Numbers aren't a big of an issue. I've got a very numeric memory. I can actually read and go through cards and stuff and all that pretty easily. But reading phonetically and things of that nature is somewhat hard for me at times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read. You're going to get it. And this is what the good Lord has given us tonight, because I forgot to do it last week. And get some. Usually our reading of scripture comes from someone in the chat from the week before. And when so you can go ahead and prove that. I will. There you go. JENC, Emma and them are really good young folks. So it's okay. Give them a little slack. But our topic is usually picked from someone the week before too. And we'll do that after I read scripture. So here we go, guys. Let me get where I can see and my eyes can get adjusted. Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath. One Sabbath, Jesus was going through the grain fields, and his disciples began to pick some heads of grain, rub them in their hands, and eat the kernels. Some of the Pharisees asked, "Why are you doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath?" Jesus answered them, "Have you never read that David did what David did when he and his companions were hungry? He entered the house of God and talked to the concentrate and take he entered the house of God, and taking the consecrated bread, he ate what is lawful only for priests to eat, and he also gave some to his companions. Then Jesus said to them, "The Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath." On another Sabbath, he went into the synagogues and was teaching, and a man was there whose right hand shriveled. Was shriveled. The Pharisees and the teachers of the law were looking for a reason to accuse Jesus, so they watched him closely to see if he would heal on the Sabbath. But Jesus knew what they were thinking and said to the man with the shriveled hand, "Get up and stand in front of everyone." So he got up and stood there. Then Jesus said to them, "I ask you, which is lawful on the Sabbath, to do good or to do evil? I save life or to destroy it?" He looked around at them all and then said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He did so, and his hand was com- completely restored. But the Pharisees and the teachers of the law were furious, and began to discuss what with one another what they might do to Jesus. So let's talk about this, guys. That was just led by the Lord right there. That was something that Jesus said for me to read. And by God, if it ain't right on point, I want you to understand about that shriveled upness and what it means to be working on the Sabbath, to be out there and doing what you need to do. Sometimes you have to. If it's going to feed your family, or if it's going to put to where you can help another family. I got a hair going crazy right there. Put it out there to where we can do that. Guys, it is amazing what we can do, and God understands. See, God tells us that we're supposed to do certain things. God tells us that he loves us. So when we go and we remember what we're doing in God's name, sometimes those little things like that are okay. Hey, Eli Van Hoy, I love you, buddy. That's my son right there, guys. Eli Van Hoy is. His dad's probably watching too, or he's laying in bed where his dad doesn't know. But I try to teach Eli, I try to teach ELYN, and his dad does the same thing. That look, we are here, and we are here to do good. We are here. We are here to do God's work. When I was talking to ELYN tonight, and I was telling her that I didn't have scripture ready. What should we talk about? She said that we needed to talk about when Eve took the fruit she wasn't supposed to take. And I said, what is going on I'll answer that in a second, Joe. I said, what is going on here? When a 7-year-old little girl tells me that we need to talk to people about Adam and Eve, about when Eve partook in the forbidden fruit. And hey, Jeff Neal, what's going on? When we all sit around and we talk about that, and you talk to a 7-year-old like I did tonight when she made that suggestion, um, I asked her, well, what do you want me to talk about with Adam and Eve? Susie Clark, thank you very much. That is much appreciated. If I missed anybody else, I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With ELYN's talking to me, and she says, well, people need to understand that we're still in the garden. 7 years old. And she realizes that we're still in the Garden of Eden. That God didn't take us out of the Garden of Eden. God took the magic away and opened that garden's gates and allowed us to go out and to venture into this big old world and to work by the sweat of our brow and to be good stewards of this land. He did what exactly every homesteader dreams of doing. And it doesn't matter if you're Christian or if you're Muslim or if you're Buddhist or if you're pagan or what you are. If you're a homesteader, you are doing the God's work, what I call Jesus Christ. You're doing the work that he wants you to do. There is nothing more that Jesus Christ wanted us to do in this world than to take care of this great gift he gave us in Mother Earth. Nothing more, guys. He wants us to steward the land. He wants us to live off the land. He wants us to partake and oversee by all domain over all the animals that are here. He wants us to be able to take and love the creatures that are here and use them while he put them here. He wants us to hunt and fish and have livestock. He wants us to raise our own food. And right now in today's society, when a 7-year-old little girl can understand that, and I hope and pray that that's because of the way that I'm teaching her, but when a 7-year-old little girl says that's the most important thing, that you can go talk to these people that we love, because we love each and every one of you. We truly do. For you guys that are new here, understand that our love comes unconditionally. It doesn't matter what you choose to say. It doesn't matter how you go forth in life. And if you choose to call yourself a Christian or not, God still loves you until the day you die and you haven't accepted him. God is walking beside you. God is with you. He's in your heart. He's everywhere that you look around and see. Everything has Jesus Christ in it. And he is still alive this day, right now, where we sit. He's with you right now in all the hard times. He's here with all the good times. He's there. He's ready to take you and let you say, okay, here I am. And it may take you 45, 55, 60 years to understand that he's still there. It may take that long for you to understand that Jesus Christ is right there with you, no matter where you've been. Where you've been, Jesus Christ has been with you. If it's been in the bar drunk, if it's been laid up in bed with 3 or 4 different women or 3 or 4 different men, if it's been out here doing drugs, if it's been out here drinking alcohol, if it's been armed robbery, if it's been anything that you've done, Jesus has been with you, waiting for you to reach up and take his hand, for him to reach and take you to the promised land. See, because what people are mistaken, and this is one of my own views on this, is that everybody thinks he's going to pull us away and take us to this promised land up here in the sky. No, he's going to reach down here on the Mount Olive, and when he steps here, he's going to say, you are the chosen warriors that are going to fight for what's here, because he says he's going to bring fire next time. He's not going to flood us out next time. He's going to come down here, he's going to stick on this, and he's going to say, you are the true and faithful people, and by that grace, I will protect you through anything. Now let's go kick some behind. Let's get rid of all this other trash. And you may not even know that Jesus Christ has chosen you yet. You may not know that you are one of his warriors. You may not know, but he does. So when I get all the way through and we go through this, understand that Jesus Christ loves you. I love you. And it's unconditional. Now, I'm going to get off my box. I'm going to start talking to you, and we're going to go through all this. I'm going to look at some of these great comments that are over here, and I'm going to say thank you. Believe in yourself and be prepared. Thank you. How are you doing tonight? Susie Clark, we said hello to you. Thank you. Gossmania is in the house. What's going on? JC Oregon Home Plus. Love you on your box, man. I got on it tonight, guys. I got some cold chills and some sweat going. Got some jiggy going on. Martha Adams, how are you? Melissa Lieber, how are you? I'm glad to see you here. You're not late. You're always right on time. Mims, I think the $200 goal for the night is met. Okay. I don't know if we're there, but thank you guys very, very much. If you did, that is amazing. Guys, I did not ask for anything, but Miss Mims's garden here, Miss Anna and Mark from Rolling Homestead, decided they were going to go for a goal of $200 to help us go get this truck as quickly as possible. That a amazing subscriber that's asked to stay unanimous sent us the title for. We have a title in hand, not for a brand new truck, but for a nice truck. For y'all that weren't here earlier, I'll show you a picture of the truck. This is the truck that was gifted to us. Let's see, that's the best picture from the side. It's a 2004 Dodge Ram quad cab with a Hemi in it. It's only a two-wheel drive truck, but it's a full-size truck. They are hitting PayPal too, so between the two, okay, well, my phone is going to blow up in a minute if that's what's going on. And, all I can say is God is good. And when we do things that we're supposed to do, good things will come to you. And you may not think they're coming to you right now, but they will come to you. I promise. We're going to get in. Grammy isn't much better, but perhaps it will help add to thank you very much, Grammy Karen. You guys, you need to save your money just so you can get down here and we can cook some food together. We got to get some good old country Kentucky and Tennessee food going on. Mr. Jeff Neal, come over and help us too. He's one of the best cooks that I know. Jeff, his family, and a wonderful man that believes in Jesus Christ. And he grabbed a hold of him in the fire too. So, it's there. But thank you very much. So we're going to talk about safety. We're going to talk about firearm safety, and I'm done with playing games of trying to talk around stuff. I'm not going to put it in the titles when I talk about firearms and stuff and all that good stuff. But we're going to talk about firearm safety and basic firearm safety and then personal safety because ELYN said we needed to talk about that tonight. And before we go there, I'm going to pick two individuals that will choose what we're going to do this week for our subject and our scripture for next week, because I forgot to do this last week. So let's see. And if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. Okay. Homestead engraving business. Can you choose our subject matter for next week? It can be anything that you want to do, homesteaded relating or prepping related. So it can be canning, it could be solar, it can be composting tour, it can be vermiculture, it can be vermicomposting, it can be septic systems, it can be building, it can be firearms, it can be bug out bag. We did bug out bags last week, so probably not go to bug out bags or a week before last. It can be on alternative ways to make income off the homestead now and in a situation where that's all you're getting to do. Whatever you want. If you want to choose that and post it on here, what you would like to do, that would be much appreciated. And then I'm going to go, because I know this will be an amazing one. Mark, Rolling Homestead, would you pick out scripture for us next week, brother, and email me that? If you'll do that, then I can get that studied up on and roll with that. And I know I'm not going to let you give me a no, because I know you won't. For scripture and study. If you guys can do that, that would be amazing. So homestead engraving business, if you can pick out our subject matter, anything that you want to talk about next week, that would be awesome. And if you can let us know, think about it. We'll be on here for at least another hour, and then post it in the chat so everybody knows kind of what we're going to be talking about next week. are deciding to keep our kids out of public school this fall. Not sure I can teach too. All right, so we'll talk about that a little bit, but let's talk about our firearms and safety and personal safety and stuff. Um, I got you, Emma. I got you. Everybody, if you guys can go over and check out JE and C and me, that is a young lady by the name of Emma. She's a beautiful gymnast. She is a wonderful person. And maybe go give a little love to her. That would be great. If you guys have not, if you're not subscribed to Mark at Rolling Homestead, there is another one that is amazing. He does bushcraft stuff as well as homesteading. He's kind of mixed the two together. And it's amazing. He does really good. They did a 7-day survival challenge here. I think you're on your number 2, but I'm hoping I get an invite to come do that Arctic weather challenge with him next year. So there, got to get to bed. God bless you too, Mark. And then check out everybody on here. Most everybody on here has a channel. Julie B, how are you? So we'll talk about the homeschooling thing here in a little while. So just hold on, Felicia. So this is a brand new firearm I just bought. This is the new Shield M&P. This is the 2.0 long slide. It's in 9mm. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about basic rules of gun safety and what we need to do. So first and foremost, we want to treat every gun as though it was loaded. Okay, we want to keep our fingers straight and off the trigger anytime we have to handle that firearm, and we want to keep that gun pointed in a safe direction. Now, if you're in a household or something like that, the safest direction for you to point this gun is in the corner of a house or something. If you're going to download or make it go empty and safe, you got to remember, if you have downstairs neighbors, pointing at the floor is not the safest position. If you have upstairs neighbors, that's not the safest position. The corner of your house at least has more materials coming in case you have an accidental discharge. So this is a semi-automatic firearm. So what I want to ask you is we're going to go through some steps to unload this weapon. So if you see this button, this is a magazine that fits down in here. This button on the side, which this one I have set up, it's ambidextrous. It's not set up for the right-hand side. It's for my left because that's where my thumb is when I'm gripping with my right hand. So what you want to do is you want to push the button and it drops the magazine out. Okay, so there's the magazine out. Now, is this gun safe? I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Everybody make your answers now. If you guys answer, is this gun safe? I took the magazine out. So is it safe? Nope, 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 nope. Everybody's saying no, 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 no. I have taught you guys very, very well. Good. I hope you guys have been listening. This gun is not safe. As I pull this slide back, if you see right there, there is a round in the chamber. To make this gun safe, you need to rack the slide multiple times. Now, if I take this gun and I lock the slide to the rear, you can see that this firearm has an empty chamber where the magazine goes through, and it has an empty magwell, and it has an empty chamber, and I can stick my finger in there, and I can actually see that this firearm is now safe and will not fire. Okay? Might be one in the chamber, absolutely. So there we go. We have a safe firearm now. So let's talk about storage. Okay, and we're just talking about a semi-auto one. If you have a revolver, you're going to have to open the slide and the door, and the wheel will come out, and then you push a pin, and all the rounds fall out, and you can actually look at the round cylinder and see every hole is empty, and then there you go. So there we are. So we're here. This is good. The one good part about these long slides and the M&Ps is they're very easy to manipulate. And the EZ, the Shield EZ, you can actually take your pinky and thumb and rack it back easily. I can't do it with this gun with my pinky and thumb. So this firearm is made safe now. So let's talk about storage at your home. I'm going to put this firearm back, and I keep one in the chamber. This is my carry firearm. I do carry the small 22 revolver, but this is my carry firearm. I keep it loaded and ready to go, and it stays where I can get to it at all times. So this firearm, I'm not worried about ELYN ever getting a hold of unless I tell her, go get this. And then she's smart enough and has been trained enough to know, finger straighten off the trigger, carry it in a safe position, and bring it to daddy. And I would only do that in a dire situation. And that's not going to happen. So, but anyway, um, with that being said, this gun stays there. Now, the best way to keep your firearms stored in your home, if you're not, it's not your go-to firearm that you're going to have with you, is to keep them unloaded, magazines out, or the cylinders clear, and you need to keep them in a locked place. Now, a locked up firearm with no ammunition in it can get you killed quicker. Excuse me. Anyway, um, and there it is. Yeah, Grammy Karen, I understand that. Was trained by the best and had accidents happen. Accidents do happen, and they can happen anywhere. So prayers go out to Grammy, Karen, and things happen. What you can do is you do your best, and that's all you can do in anything that you do in life is to do your best. So keep firearms unloaded, safe, and locked away. If you're doing that, remember, if you have only one firearm in your house and it's not on your person and it's locked in a safe with nothing in it, um, it can it can cause some issues if you have a home evasion or something of that nature. So I think you should help us learn more about living a legacy leaving a legacy and learning more about living a legacy in future generations. Okay, Homestead, what we're leaving. Let me write that down real quick while I got it. Um, Now that will be, you'll have to be part of that homestead engraving business, and think everybody on here will have to be part of that conversation because that means something different to everybody. So it'll be opinion more than anything. So, and Grammy Karen will tell you, guns are needed. It's an essential tool, especially when you have a homestead. It's an essential tool nowadays to protect yourself. TJ, what's going on? Knowledge is the king, and teaching your children and understanding in there is the only way to actually make a firearm in your home safe. Having a firearm in your home unloaded with ammunition separated and all that good stuff is still not the safest method to keep a firearm. Keeping a firearm in your home, the safest way, and accidents still happen, the safest way to do that is to teach your young people respect for firearms, how to properly maintain and handle a firearm, and not to ever handle a firearm without an adult present. And then you can't be afraid when your child comes up and says, Daddy, can I see the gun? Mommy, can I see the gun? Because that curiosity, if you say no, is going to overwhelm them and they're going to go try to find it and they're going to sneak it out and they're going to do things you can't. When you show them and you teach them and it's not a big issue, it takes the curiosity away, and then they don't go start searching for them and get them out. So you have to think everything in moderation. It's just like with eating. It's just like with everything. You take the time when they're saying so they don't go out and start searching for something. You look at it. But safety is not just firearms. Safety is all around everything. So it's understanding lighting on your home, knowing that you have lights in the areas that you can't see in your yard. It's knowing the shrubbery that you're planting around your home, um, being thorny or holly bushes or thicker brush that people can't come through and get into a low lying window. If you have something that's 6 feet or more off the ground, you can get away with some stuff. If it's a window that lies at street level where I can walk up and I'm there mid thigh, then what you have to do is plant thorny trees, hard shrubs to get through, and make sure that you have something placed in front of that window that's going to make some type of noise when somebody's trying to get in. You need to look at where are your tools outside, because if someone comes up and it's a burglary or a break-in by opportunity, or they're running from the cops, they're running up and they're grabbing your ladder to get in your second story window because it's laying beside your garage, or it's sitting out in the open, or they're using your crowbar that you left outside sitting beside the garage to break into your home. So you have to understand that, and you have to understand that you have to maintain more than just your firearms. For people that are not firearms enthusiasts, that they don't like firearms at all, I implore you, I beg of you, I ask you, please go take a basic firearm safety class. Not telling you to go buy a firearm. I'm not telling you you have to like a firearm. I'm not telling you you even have to fire a firearm. You do need to touch one. And the reason for that is when you show up to a friend's house that may not be the best firearms owner, but they own firearms, and your little child goes back into the back room and they gather that firearm up and they walk out into the front room and they have a firearm in their hand, you need to know how to calmly engage that child. You need how to properly handle and take away that firearm. And then you need to know how to make that firearm safe. Okay. Then you need to know how to properly put your boot up inside someone's butt for leaving a loaded firearm or a firearm out, even if it's unloaded, to where a child could get it. Okay. That's their home, but it's still something they needed to have told you beforehand. Okay. So you need to have that. So please, please, please go take a basic firearms class, even if you hate firearms. I'm not telling you have to like them, not telling you have to have them, but it is the United States of America. And as of right now, it is your constitutional right to have, own, and bear firearms. And it's one of those rights that I think you will appreciate as all this crap keeps going and gets worse. How much does a firearm class run? You can take a basic firearms class, Diana, for around $50 to $75 anywhere in America. And if they're trying to charge you much more than $50 to $75, I'd probably call the Better Business Bureau. Or if they're sending and making you do more, if you're on the East Coast, try to get to me and we'll do one for free. We grew up knowing you don't touch guns that are in the house. Well, anytime a child comes to my house, and I don't care whose child it is, anybody on this channel, if you come to my home, the first thing we do is I talk to you. I engage with the kids like I always do. Grammy Carrions met me in person. Most people in here know this. Is I talk to them. I get them excited and stuff. And then I say, we only have a couple of rules here in this house. And they're like, what? And I'm like, if you see a gun, it's probably loaded. Don't touch it. And I say that because what do we treat every firearm as? As though it was loaded, if it is or if it isn't. But if you want to see it, come get Uncle Chris and we'll go see them. So now there's no curiosity. And then if they come and they say, hey, I see a gun in the corner, guess what we do? We don't go, oh, stay away from it, hide, run, hide. Guns are going to kill you. We don't do that. We go, we get the firearm, we walk through the safety steps. We need to treat every firearm as it's loaded. Let's make sure it's not loaded. Magazine out, rack the slide to the rear, lock the bolt open. Can you see in there? There's nothing down there. Can you see up here? There's nothing there. Look, it's safe now. Mom, Dad, is it okay if they hold the firearm? Look, it's safe. Yes. So I look at them. I do this. I properly hand it to them. Keep your finger straight and off the trigger. Let's point it toward this corner of the house. Let's make sure we're pointed in a safe direction. And we need to understand where we're pointing our firearm. We're done. We make it safe. We put the gun back to where it was, and we're done. There's no more curiosity about that. Now, that also gives us the opportunity to make sure that gun is clear like it should be. Believe in yourself and prepping. What do you think about crossbows and cameras? Crossbows are awesome for hunting. They're quiet. They don't make a lot of noise. For home protection, I don't like them at all unless you live in a place where you cannot own a firearm. And the reason I don't like them, Well, it's because they don't have as much penetration. Honestly, in most cases, that's a really good regular bow, and people will disagree with me on that. But there's so many variances on that shorter bolt, and you get one shot. That's it. Cameras are amazing, but if you live off grid like me, then that's another source of power that you're giving up, and you're giving that away. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, where are we at here? I'm missing some people. So we got 48 on, 52 thumbs up. Knowing your personal space is another safety thing we went over a couple of weeks ago. Have I lost you guys? Because my chat is completely stopped, and I don't know if I've lost anybody. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you can still hear me and stuff. No, you're good. Okay. All right, we're good. All right, I didn't know, because usually my chat has always got some question asking. Living Miracle Homestead, how are you? I know I saw you earlier. I just don't know if I said hello. Okay, good to go. We're good. Might be lagging quite a bit. All right, so ask me some questions, guys, because we've done this one a couple of times, but I figured if ELYN Max is telling me I need to do it, there's a reason. Making lunch for tomorrow and listening. Thanks, Crystal. What are we having for lunch tomorrow? So let's talk about. We're going to go off a little bit more than just safety. Let's talk about firearms themselves. Let's talk about if you're someone new. Bacon and eggs is always a wonderful choice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and all three in the same day is perfectly acceptable. So let's talk about some stuff. You're good, just everyone paying attention. Gotcha. So let's talk about firearms that are good. So this is what I carry every day, guys. This is a very small 22 Magnum North American Arms. It's a 5-shot revolver. 22 Magnum is a very effective round. It's not the best round if you're not trained with a firearm. Still working away in Seattle. Gotcha. So, and then this is the gun that I always have within hand's reach. This gun fights me to this gun, and this gun fights me to the ones you saw in the background of the lives the other day. This gun's got 5 rounds. This gun's got 17. You got 15 or 16 plus 1 or 15 plus 1, depending on the magazines, and they're there. So let's talk. If you're a brand new shooter, which one of these guns would you want to start on? The little one or the big one? Well, the answer to that question are the bigger guns. If I lay out a table full of guns, and we're gonna concentrate on female shooters, I lay out a table full of guns, of 10 or 15 guns, from little guns to big guns, and I lay them out on a table, and I ask you to come pick them. Usually, most women will go toward the little 380s or the little smaller 9mm or something of that nature, and then they pick them up, and when they fire them, they're like, "Ah, gosh, that hurts my hand." And I explain that to them. And again, this little gun even stings your hand, even though there's not a big thing, because you only can grab them with like 2 fingers. Okay, that's all you can grab that firearm with is 1 to 2 fingers. So when they do that, it hurts their hands. But when they grab the bigger guns that have more power, they're a bigger frame. They jump, but they don't hurt. And they go through and they learn that. The Glock 42 is one of those smaller firearms that work well. My hands are short and fat and don't work real good with the Glock because they're square. But the 42 and 43 are actually very good firearms, and they do fit my hand. You want to go with a little bigger frame. If I was a suggestion on what, if you're a beginner shooter that's only going to be able to afford to buy one firearm that is a personal protection or sidearm, a pistol per se, I would tell you to buy a 357 in a full frame Taurus, Smith & Wesson, Colt, one of the higher end guns. You're going to spend more. The Tauruses aren't that expensive, but you're going to spend higher amounts of money by a quality revolver with a full frame, not the lightweights, not the polymers, in 357. And the reason I say that is because you can shoot that firearm with 38 special rounds in them, and you can even go plus P, and they don't hurt your hands to go out and practice and run. And then I would carry that firearm with the 357 rounds in that. And the reason for that is you have a much stronger round going through the exact same gun. And yes, it jumps a little bit more. And yes, you need to fire it, but you can fire 5 or 6 rounds just to understand where you're at. And then you can turn over and you can shoot the 38 for practice and it doesn't hurt you. Ugly Duckling, that's Kyle Knight's wife there. She just had a beautiful young baby. And that, yes, you are right. That 357 Desert Eagle with the aluminum slide is an amazing choice, but it's about that big. you see this firearm? The gun she's talking about is about this much bigger. So, and I'm hoping that's her and not that crazy husband of hers stealing her account. You should never feel bad about how you feel. You shouldn't feel bad about how you feel. What did I miss there? Most of us are allowed to have firearms because the Second Amendment. Yes. I missed something. I don't know. Okay, so no 22. The jump is why caused the 357 seems uncomfortable to me. Yeah, go ahead. 22 is not an effective pistol round for most shooters. This is a 22 Magnum. It shoots a bullet quite a bit larger than a 22 long rifle. And most people that are not familiar and not shooting weekly or daily even, this is not a good choice. There's people still going to come on. I just have confidence enough in my skills to be able to work to get to the bigger gun. The 357, the reason that I like that is because once you're shooting that gun, you can run the 38s in it. You can get 6-round cylinders in some if you have them custom made, and that is only 1 round different than a small carry firearm in 9mm or 380 that's giving you 6 to 7 rounds. So you're at same capacity, but you're getting a much more effective round and a much easier round. You don't have to worry about a safety. The gun is either pull the trigger or pull the hammer back and pull the trigger. You have no things to have to worry about, and it's safe. So that is one of the things that you need to keep in mind. I'm afraid to get my CHL because I don't want them to know I have a gun. Mama Z, if that's the case, then there's 90% of us on here that aren't going to have guns, and if it gets to that point, you have to it's not going to make a difference anyway, Mama Z. And that's my personal opinion. If they get to that point, it's not going to matter because everybody's going to be fighting anyway. So who cares if they know you have a gun? So do as legal as you can and you're good to go. That would be my answer to that. Let's see. If a kid and never taken a gun class but knows the drill, and basically that me and I'm 11, dad has the same small gun, single dad. Cool. These little guns are very effective and they're very quality made. They're actually, that little gun probably weighs a pound, and this little gun fully loaded probably weighs 3 pounds. So this weighs a third of that gun and it's probably a fifth of the size. Hey, Denise from Mexico, what's going on? So let's see, need a sight for my long rifle. What would you suggest? I was looking at me pro light. What kind, Sharon, what kind of long gun is it? I hear those light strike a lot. Ugly Duckling's giving me a hard time because my number 5 cylinder on this little gun is light striking. So I keep the hammer on that, and I know I got 4 rounds. But yes, so that is Ugly Duckling has been taken over. I just noticed that my picture fell. Ugly Duckling has been taken over by Kyle Knight. So Outpost Ugly Duckling has been taken over. That was not good. No brakes. Good. Sorry, guys. looked in the background and that picture had fallen down. I got to fix it here in a few minutes, but that was not good. Oh, your AR. Does it have a carry-on handle on it? Got to run, Chris. So you know. Homestead engraving will be looking forward to doing that subject matter. My garden died too, Emma. I harvested onions today for my mom and a small basket of tomatoes, and let her have them to do them in the runs of her tomatoes she's canning, and I'll probably get to do that. Let's see, Sharon. I'm trying to get here and figure out. I like just traditional ghost ring iron sights on my AR. For iron sights, that's what I like. Ghost ring in the back. Daniel Defense makes a great set of pop-up ones that are good. Believe in yourself. Good night. Thank y'all for great giving. Thank you. Believe in yourself and prep. Appreciated. We've been on for an hour now. 49 people on with 57 thumbs up. That is amazing. All righty. So we've got our subject matter. Mark is going to be doing our scripture for next week and going to email me that. And we're good. So that's the firearm thing. Now, we had some individuals that wanted to talk about homeschooling. We're going to jump completely off of safety, and we're going to talk about homeschooling now. So for people that are going to have to homeschool for the first time, we homeschool. We use the easy peasy homeschool plan. It's completely free. It's Christian based. You don't have to be Christian to use it, but it is a Christian based program. You can order online materials, and you can order paperback book materials that help you out. I'm better with iron sights than 100 yards than a scope. Me too, getting started on the homestead. I'm good with them out to about 500 yards with a ghost ring. And that's just good Marine Corps training. So good night, Denise, if that's you saying goodbye. So Fancy Farmer, what's going on? So with the homeschool thing, that's a good program. The Becca, I'm looking at that this year because we're kind of going to step our game up. But I've had a lot of people, the Max were talking about this earlier, about having different age grouped kids and trying to teach 4, 5, and 6 kids a different thing. What I would suggest for you guys is to look at what they did back in the late 1700s, early 1800s, and kind of use modern technology along with that mindset of homeschooling. And what I mean by that is they would take, and everybody was in the same classroom, right? So you had the older kids, and they taught from the older kids, and then the older kids, it was all the same level of education, same class, but the older kids came down and helped teach the younger kids, and the younger kids helped teach the youngest kids. So you had kind of stair step down, and where it was, had a hard time with Becca. I'd messaged Misty. Yeah. But look into that mindset of how it is with computers and with the programs that we have and the things that we have up. I think it's possible to, Jen and Zach use Becca too. We've actually talked about it a couple times. So far it is expensive, but also accredited. It is. And they're having a lot of accredited stuff come out. So what I would say is look into that and see if you can kind of put the two together, kind of see where you can meld the two together and have some of the older kids help with the younger kids, because it's just like learning this book, okay, for older people and younger people. You need to read it, you need to eat it, you need to learn it, absorb it, and then spread it. Without all three of those, this is useless. So if you have kids, they need to learn it, absorb it, and eat it, and then teach it. If you're trying to teach a kid something, they talk about using threes. So dog, 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 D-O-G, D-O-G, D-O-G. Dog sounds like duh for D, Oh, and you go into threes and it's kind of the repetition and gets in their ear and they keep going on and doing stuff. The appreciate tiny house. Good night. See you later. I got a first and a third grader. We are doing the virtual through public schools because of some health issues with my husband, and I am diabetes and I'm recovering from Lyme disease. Lyme disease sucks. I've got several friends that have Lyme disease. In the state of Tennessee, they won't tell you if you have Lyme disease or not. You have to go to a different state to get diagnosed with Lyme disease. Absolutely crazy. Um, I always chose my own curriculum when kids were little, couldn't afford the actual program. We don't with you. We use the easy peasy. We're looking at using some of the Becca, but I think if you use that and teach the kids as a whole, kind of the same subject matter, not the subject level, but the subject matter, it's going to help the older ones retain because they're regurgitating it and it's regurgitating, and you oversee that teaching. It makes it easier on you if you have multiple kids. Now, that's just my looking from the outside window in theory on it. Now, Joe, just remember the question you asked. Eli is my former stepson. Um, ELYN and Eli both have the same mother. Eli's father has full custody of Eli. So Eli is ELYN's big brother, yes. And me and Scott are best of friends. That's his father. And I get Eli about every 2 to 3 weeks. He comes and stays for 3 or 4 days. And here recently he's been doing parkour while ELYN's been doing gymnastics at the same time. So I'll usually pick him up, or his dad will bring him up Thursday to the gym. We do parkour, and then he comes up, stays the night, and then he goes home on Friday, or he'll stay the whole weekend if his dad's got something that he needs to do. So, Joe, if you're still on here, that's the answer for Eli. Yes, that's the soda. I'm sorry, guys. So that is kind of where we're at with the Eli situation. But I've had a lot of questions about homeschooling here lately. How do you homeschool your daughter with other children? How do you homeschool your daughter with other children? Or you mean how do we socialize them, Denise? With ELYN, she does gymnastics on Thursdays, but we are always out. You can ask most of these guys on here when we're coming in, and we're talking, like going to Grammy Karen's. Her friends are Wyatt and Ray Ray. We go meet other people. ELYN literally doesn't, kids that are younger and to her age that are from a normal school, ELYN usually doesn't get along with them and doesn't like to them because they're not as engaged. They're usually wild and crazy. Now ELYN's high strung too, but they usually have, and if dad says to be quiet, they don't listen. So she gets as frustrated with crazy kids as I do. But she enjoys older kids and she's very social. I think everybody that's on here that's met her, Grammy Karen's met her, Fairy Tale Creations met her, Mims's Gardens met her, JENC's met her. Gosh, there's a bunch of people on here that I've actually met you, and she's very outgoing. She's very sociable. Um, she is an only child. She is an only child. So we teach, and then we make sure that we're in our environment. We make sure we're surrounding her by good, God-fearing people, and we make sure that she's part of the community and understands that not everybody believes that we the same way we do. Um, we were talking about color tonight of people, and we were watching the Princess Frog, and we were talking about, you have the one rich girl that's white and you have the poor girl that's black, and we were talking about how beautiful they both were, and it was very interesting to see a 7-year-old that's not been raised in a racist issue where color has been there, because she didn't even understand when I was explaining to her that they were different colors. She knew they were different colors, but she didn't understand that that was a big deal because color to her is not an issue. Um, that's why I say I think that there's a lot less racism in America than what people think or are portrayed around the world to have. Um, I think we have a very racist government, and that's the problem. can ELYN do a live Friday? We might do a live Friday, JENC, maybe midday. We did a lot of narration when I read books and stories, and my son would tell me stories in his words. Comprehension is important. Yeah, and me and ELYN do that. If you go back, there's a couple homeschooling videos that we've done, and we'll take out, and we are always homeschooling 24/7, 365 days a year. We are teaching in some capacity. If that's, what is this plant, daddy? Where is it from? What's that word on that sign? We go to school or go to stores, and I'll challenge her to find certain words. That's one of the videos that was out. We do that all the time. Chris, do you think me and you and ELYN can do a Zoom? We might be able to, JENC. Send me an email. I think the government was designed to be racist, and we are now having a problem separating from that. Fancy Farmer, I think that the government was designed to do that, but if we would actually step up and do what we're supposed to do, the government would be so freaking afraid when they see black and white people and Hispanic, brown people, and yellow, lack of better words, yellow people. Okay, let's see this. So we'll see that Melissa Libra. We're going to talk to her about that in a second. So yeah, I think that we're there. My niece didn't understand till all the BLM stuff started. She was adopted from Ethiopia, and now she's asking us tons of questions. Absolutely, JNC. It's absolutely crazy. Can anyone help me? My senior, I don't want to send her back to public school. I'm worried this virus isn't going away in the time for the new year. Any suggestions? Melissa, I don't think you need to fear the virus as much as you do the craziness that's going on. Mims's Garden is one that you can talk to because she's actually had the virus, and speak to about taking the zinc, the vitamin C, and the vitamin D and boosting her immune system. She's also very young, so it's going to be good for her to boost her immune system. But as far as all the other craziness, I would hate to send a kid back to school. That is a very, very hard year to try to pull a kid away from school, especially if they're socially active. Does anybody else have any suggestions on how to maybe make that one? Uh, any suggestions for Melissa? My daughter has von Wilburn. It scares me too. Not close to me, JC and me. Yeah, the only thing that I could suggest to you, Melissa, is if you have some good friends that have kids that are in the same year as she is, that she is friends with, if maybe you guys got together and maybe 4 or 5 of you guys put together a homeschool group and you guys did a 2 to 3 day meeting group class to where they could still do that through the online stuff with the public schools like they're doing here, and she can still walk across the stage and she still has some socialization with them. Bob Davis, ignorance of the very changing words that are no longer socially acceptable or politically correct is the source of much of the. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like if you use the word retarded. Retarded is a medical term. It was brought out and used, but we've used it for slang and stuff to where now it is a racist situation. But I don't think it even goes to um I don't even think that it is a situation to where it's the verbiage that's changed it. It's the mindset and it's the deception that's there. I mean, look at Planned Parenthood. It's one of the biggest programs that is supported by the liberal minded side, and the black community as a whole supports it greatly. And the whole program is based off of a woman that says is basically a mass genocidal individual that says we can just kill them all at birth. And that's lack of better words, but that literally is what Planned Parenthood is. And you're losing millions of African American children every year But nobody's bitching and moaning about that. They're bitching and moaning about that cops are killing blacks at a bigger rate of numbers, which has been showed to be incorrect. Um, no one needs to be killed by a police officer that's a good person. If you're a bad person and choose to do something bad, guess what? That's a risk you're taking. And if I was a police officer and you're doing something bad and my life's in danger, I'm going to shoot you. As an individual walking the street, if you try to commit a crime on me, I'm going to shoot you. It's simple. It's done. It's over. So discussion over with on that one. How does she feel about it if she says no, she will rebel? I'm thinking, yeah, Melissa, what I would also do is have a conversation with her. If she's a senior, she might be looking at the same things as you are and saying, hey, look, I don't want to step back into this mess. Don't go into it as the scared mom, going into it as the mother preparing her child for life and be like, look, hey, here's the situations we're at. You have school, you have this. I've talked to Mary and Janie and Bobby's moms. They're all in the same situation. Maybe and sit down as a group and talk and figure out what you guys want to do as a whole. That might be the best way to do it is to have that group discussion. And maybe you'll find that if you can get 3 or 4 or 5 of her friends and her friends' families to do a homeschool group when they're at that age, once again, overseeing and teaching, I think are a great thing, and I think it prepares a child or a young adult in your case way better than the other. Mo Homesteading, what's going on? Good to see you in here. So. But we're at an hour and 15 minutes. Our public schools offer virtual, and my kids will still have a teacher from their school and be involved in anything that goes on at school. Ours can change back to in school in December. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, so I mean, she may be willing to stay at home. She may be willing to do that stuff. Now, here's one of the things that's kind of cool. ELYN's gymnastics school has taken it to the point of where they are now going to offer it's like $140 a week, but the kids come in and from 9 to 12 they have a teacher and 2 assistants that are going to be teaching and helping the kids through the school curriculum. And then from 12 to 1, they get lunch. And then from 1 to like 3, they actually are doing gymnastics or parkour or a mix of the two. And they're actually getting in that activity. And she's homeschooled all 4 of her boys, and they're 4 or 5 boys that are like 7 or 8 to in college now. And they're offering that. So you may want to look at, now we have another school, I'm not even going to say their name, that's charging $4,000 a semester to do the same thing, which is absolutely insane. So we'll see. Have a great night, JC and JC's Oregon Homestead. JEC and me, sweetheart, I can't check stuff like that and do that stuff while I'm on. My internet's too slow. So I'll get everything when we get off of here, and I'll talk about it and see what we can do. Ways to be out and about as kids and still socialize with safe precautions. Well, I think that you have to look at what the environment is that they're in. Kids are more resilient than we are, and I truly think that is. I think it's a load of crock that they're now pushing that kids can't be carriers, or they can be carriers, but they can't spread the virus. I think it's very convenient that that's come out the week that the teachers' unions have said that they want more pay to go back to school and they want all charter schools to be closed. The teachers' union, this is what they've said across the board in most every state. They want more money to go back and teach, and they want all charter schools and private schools to be closed down. That's what the union wants, which is absolutely just asinine to me. But it's the same week that they come out, and now they're saying that kids can be carriers but not spreaders of the virus. So to me, that makes no sense at all on that. So it's just It's just nuts. I think that for the socialization part of it, like with the gymnastics school, the young lady that runs that school, she decided to limit the classes down to about a third to half of what the capacity was, which was a loss to her. She didn't go up on her prices. They are, I mean, you walk in and every class they're squirting down and cleaning everything like a gym should. And then every time the kids take a break, they have to sanitize their hands when they come to drink and come back onto the floor. They have to do that every time. She takes temps when you walk through the door. If you've been around anybody with anything, you're not allowed to attend class that day. And it's just weird to see how that thing is going. Yeah, I got you, Mims. It's hilarious. Um, but I think you have to look at the situations. Once again, find that group of kids that you can do a homeschool group with, and not only can you do the group with, but they can participate in field day and having hikes and going swimming and things of that nature. Because in that group, as long as the parents can talk and you can understand, and that's a group of parents in which you trust, then you can work that out together and have a much safer environment. It doesn't know what age you are now. Yeah, I know that it's asinine. My youngest will be in school 2 days and on a Chromebook 3 days. See, but that doesn't make any sense to me either, She Bear Acres, because with them being there the 2 days, they're still exposed, to the same kids, maybe not as many days, but they're exposed to the same children. So I'm just confused about some stuff. My son, caption of wrestling team as a junior last year, and this year a VP, FFA, and president FFA this year. None of this is happening in the coming year. He is homeschool, work learning, trade in Alaska. Hey, the thing is guys, this is where it changes. This is where we have the opportunity to literally take our country back. Listen to what I'm saying. This is the biggest opportunity in the world. This is a gift, not a negative to your family. This is the biggest opportunity for us as a country to take our country back, because this gives us the chance to teach our children the correct way, to teach them the Constitution of the United States, to teach them that it's okay to free think, and you don't have to be scheduled for making up for a manufacturing line, which is what school is today. This is an opportunity to take your kids back. I say every time we talk, you cannot influence your children, even every single one of you that are on here. If your child is in public school, you cannot overcome 8 o'clock in the morning till 3 or 4. And if they play sports, 6 or 7, by the 30 minutes you see them before school and the hour and a half to 2 hours that you see them after school, you cannot influence them more than that time period that they were there. You cannot teach them more. It's not possible for you to do so. They are never going to be taught in that situation what you can teach them at home. It's not possible to overcome that amount of time. And to Boys Club for childcare, so it didn't really make sense now. My 3 older boys are in different districts, and it's normal school year, even wrestling practice with one of my sons. Wow. I mean, the virus, like I said, guys, I think the virus is just a virus. Mims talks about it all the time. Um, it's a virus. Yes, there's some things that are worse. Yes, we have a lot of people that aren't being able to cope with it, but I think that's also comes into diet. I think if you can take your zinc, you can take your vitamin D, and you can take your vitamin C, then you can get it in your bodies and get your body prevented and built up, and take those immune building supplements and get yourself to that point, you'll be okay. Now, I hate to do it to you guys because I love all of y'all, but I'm getting off here. It's almost 11:30, and I've got a long day set today. We had a flat tire today. I broke my other pair of glasses. And before we jump off of here, hold on, stop, don't leave, don't go anywhere. Here's what I was going to share with you. You guys have been hearing me talk for 3 or 4 weeks, 5 weeks now about a Premiere Live. I got to editing the Premiere Live finally this week, and it was going to come out last Tuesday, actually last week and last Tuesday. About 40% of the videos on one of my SD cards, this one right here, is corrupted. So I've lost all that. So I'm going to tell you, because you waited around this long, what that Premiere Live is about, and then I'm going to shoot another main video. And then I'm going to be telling you everything right now of what that is. So what the Premiere Live was supposed to be about is, let me see if I can find it so I can show y'all, is I have ordered and built out a 14-foot in diameter star plate geodesic dome greenhouse. And this is the greenhouse that it is. This was me finishing up the last little bit of it. This greenhouse is 14 feet in diameter at the bottom. So as you get up to where this pony wall is where all the tables and walls are. It is actually about 18 feet in diameter. It goes out about 2 to 3 feet all the way around. It's 13 feet high in the It's 13 feet high in the center, and it's there. So here's what's going to happen. This is where it's going to get good. We have some sponsorship for that. We just got in the new Smart Pro humidity and digital, the humidity and digital thermometer for the greenhouse, so where it comes in. We'll be showing all that in the video, and we're going to be setting all that up. This greenhouse, I'm going to give you some information on it, and then you'll get more in the video. This greenhouse, to buy the star plate system and to frame out the greenhouse, is less than $270. That's a huge greenhouse, guys. You can build this thing into a cabin, a carport, or anything. See you later, Mo Homesteading. It is amazing. So to put the plastic on it and to get everything done on that, you can do this for less than $400. And I built the actual framed out the building in less than 3 hours by myself. So if you have one person that knows what they're doing and someone else that have probably 2.5 hours to get it done, and you'll be good to go. Like I said, you can make them into cabins, you can do whatever. Where you get into, I'm going to have about $700 in this, but I did a composite table that's almost 3 feet wide that wraps around a little bit over 3/4 of the thing for shelving. And then I put the pony wall up with the beveled edge boards on the bottom. And then I put extra vents and stuff in my system. So when that video comes out, I'm going to need each and every one of you to help me share it. Because when we hit 10,000, I didn't end up locking in the sponsorship I want, but I believe in the product so much that I'm going to do this anyway on my own dime. When we hit 10,000 views on this video, which will make it the biggest video I've ever put out, when we hit 10,000 views, I am going to give away one of the star plate packages, which is the 11 star plates, all the bolts, nuts, and the roof cap, which is an extra upgrade. And I'm going to give away a $120 gift card to Lowe's or Home Depot if you have one in your area that's closer, but probably Lowe's because they help me out a lot and they'll probably sponsor me on this part of it. And that will be everything you need to frame this thing out. And then you can turn it into a cabin. You can turn it into a greenhouse. You can turn it into a garage. You can turn it into a playhouse. You can do whatever. But I'm going to give that package away. The $120 to buy the 2x4s and the star plate system. But we have to hit 10,000 because hitting that 10,000 will allow me just off of that video to compensate what we're doing. So you guys will be getting it yourself, but there. And then I will attach all the information for you to order your own if you want to. Do they offer a siding for A cabin. You choose whatever you want, Sharon. You can build it anyway. You can use OSB board. You can use vinyl siding. You can use cedar siding. You can use shiplap. You can use sheeter shakes. You can sawmill cut your own lumber. The biggest that you can make is the one that I did, and that's using 9-foot lumber, and it gives you a 14-foot in diameter space inside. It's about 200 square feet, a little less than 200 square feet, but you can make it smaller. You can use 5-foot lumber and make a smaller one that will sit in your backyard and you can have your own thing. There's another channel that has the same greenhouse built, and that is the Nomadic Movement. And the Nomadic Movement has one built, and they didn't put the pony wall. They're planting straight into the ground, and they just stretch plastic. But what we're going to do is we're going to put that up. We're going to get it done. That video should be out next week because I got to re-record everything. So I'm going to have some still pictures of how we went through and got everything put up. But I literally put this thing together by myself in about 3 hours with no other help of getting it framed out and stuff. That was cutting every piece of wood, getting everything put up, the whole 9 yards. So it's amazing how easy it is. Homesteading single dad is pretty much the most badass American thing you can do is up there. Thank you, Xavier. That is where we're at. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that video out, and then we're going to get you guys to share it. And once we hit 10,000, boom, we'll give one of them away to one lucky winner, and make it happen for you guys. We thought we were going to get full sponsorship from the Star Fate program. It's sold through Stromberg Hatcheries. They own the patent on the Star Plate system, and it is Mims Eyes, and then they own that, and we were in talks with them. We thought we were going to get pretty much a full sponsorship from them because I'm going to build multiple of these, and right now I think they are so overwhelmed. They were making us up a discount code. They were making us up a bunch of stuff, and then we've kind of gotten left behind because I don't think anybody in America that's got a hatchery right now can keep up with the demand on what they need. So we're trying. We're going to get there. I've been in all 48 of the lower states, but have never lived anywhere but Missouri. That's awesome, Sheeberry Acres. And that will be for the lower 48, guys. I'm sorry I can't send the Alaska, and I'm sorry that I can't ship it up to Canada. Last seeds that I sent to Canada got confiscated by customs. And then Hawaii, that's it. Now, I can include the Hawaii and Alaska in there, but they would have to cover shipping, and that would probably be close to $100 minimum just to ship it. It comes in a fairly large box, and they're metal plates, so they're fairly heavy. All right. Hey, Mom, how are you? We love you. Mom popped in. Mom says it's very nice. She knows how hard we've worked on this thing. It's rained so much. Literally, getting this thing done with all the tables and everything's taken me less than probably 16 hours with building the tables and building the walls and everything extra that I put into this thing. And it took me a month and a half to video it all, and now I've lost half of it. So due to COVID-19, they are only shipping domestic and military at the moment. Yep. So it's kind of crazy. So we'll leave it at the lower 48. All right, guys, I'm getting off here. Mama's already off of here. I sent a 20-pound box to Alaska. It cost $68. See, it's crazy. So with that being said, guys, God bless. Live with what God gives you. And I'm out of here. See you next week.